I want to talk about self-care. That's actually been something that I haven't spoken about in a while. I don't really know why, but I haven't dedicated a live to that in some time now. And I was just thinking, I was like, you know what, that would be, maybe I should talk about self-care. Because the thing of it is, self-care is so, so, so important. I know you hear it all the time. You hear about how important it is. You hear about, go get a massage. I don't know, go get your nails done, get your hair done, whatever, whatever, right? And yes, those are forms of self-care. But when I'm talking about self-care, I want to dive a little bit deeper, meaning that actually doing things or activities in which replenish you, right? Doing activities that rejuvenate you, replenish, rejuvenate you, just like how a good night's rest. And actually, that's an example. That's a good example of self care, right? And I know, again, a lot of times I think we have a tendency to focus on, or it's more common, I'll say that. It's more common to focus on, like I said, things like a massage or a spa day. I just have a cough, okay? I don't have a coronavirus. All right, I just got this cough. Those of you that have been watching me, I had this little cough for a minute, no fever. Okay, so um, but a lot of times, like I said, we focus on going to get our hair done or getting a massage or a spa day or going to our favorite restaurant or something like that. And again, yes, those are forms of self care, but there are a lot of basic forms of self care that we need to do daily or very often, right? That are maybe sometimes even more important. So, like I mentioned just a second ago, sleep, getting enough sleep. That's a form of self care. Actually, maybe taking time to just kind of unplug from everything. That can be a form of self care. Like whatever that looks like for you. If that's just you sitting on the couch, having a nice cup of tea, watching a good movie on Hulu. Actually, that's what I like to do. That's why that kind of just flowed for me. Have me a nice little cup of tea. I sit on my couch and I just watch, just watch a movie and maybe just kind of get lost in a movie. Like that's something that I enjoy doing. Whatever that is for you. Some people like to read. Some people like to journal. Some people may just like to just sit, maybe have a cup of coffee, have a cup of tea, and just listen to their gospel music or maybe read some scriptures. Whatever it is for you, you know, do it. And make sure you do it as often as possible. Um, so and eating right, that's another big one. Eating right and working out. I mean, I know it may sound kind of kind of simplistic or just, Hallmark cardish, if you will, or corny, but those are just basic things, right? That we need to do in order to feel good. I mean, mentally and physically, right? So when you're taking care of yourself mentally and physically, or if it's feeding you mentally, physically, or spiritually, right? Then that's a form of self-care. So a lot of times when people say, I don't have the money to practice good self-care, and like I said, it doesn't have to be something where you're spending money. It's not, it doesn't have to be a situation where you're having a spa day. Spa days are nice, but it could even be something every day. Like I said, just even getting a good night's rest or maybe taking a bubble bath. And I know something like that, as simple as that sounds, I know a lot of us don't even have time to do that, because we're so busy running and moving and doing this and doing that and making sure this is taken care of, that we don't even have time to do something like that. But just those simple things, those could be forms of self-care, right? So I just kind of wanted to throw that part out there in terms of it doesn't have to be something like a big to-do, doesn't have to be something that you're spending a lot of money on or any money on for that matter. Okay. So so I wanted to talk about, again, just give you a few steps on ways you can practice good self-care regularly. So one of the things was that I mentioned is to make sure that you truly enjoy the activity, okay? That it actually rejuvenates you. Make sure you enjoy the activity and that it rejuvenates you. Instagram, you're going to have to pop over to a Facebook if you want to see the rest of the video. Okay. So again, some people, like I know this is really big now, those adult coloring books, like I know a few people that that's what they do. At night when it's wind down time, they're like sitting in their bed and, they got the coloring book out. You know, some sort of an activity that makes you feel good. Something, and it could be anything. Like I mentioned, the adult coloring books. It could be, excuse me, it could be meditating, it could be reading your scriptures. It could be knitting. It could be painting. Like I have a couple of cousins and they love it. And I don't really know how it all started, but I see these paintings online, like they actually get together and they get a little wine, just like painting with a twist, but they do it in their own home. They get together and they just they have their canvases and, their blank canvases, what they're going to draw or what they're going to paint. I'm sorry. They have their paints and everything and they just go in, but that is a way that they relax. That is like a wind down for them. Hence, or thus, it rejuvenates them. So whatever it is. And if you're not quite sure, just experiment with some different things. You know what I mean? It's okay not to know. Or sometimes something that soothed us or rejuvenated us 10 years ago may not do it today, may not just, maybe we lost interest, whatever the case is. But find out what that is. And like I said, if you're not sure, just try some things. You never know. Just try some things. It could be yoga. I don't know, whatever it is. Okay. If you know, do it. If you don't know, experiment. Okay. But make sure that it is something that rejuvenates you. Okay. So that was the first piece or the first step, if you will. And then the next step was determine the most effective ways for you to practice self-care. So when I say effective, that means, is it feasible, right? Do you have time to do it? Does it cost to do it, right? Figure out the most effective way to do it. Does it cost? Do you have time? Because if it's something that maybe takes a lot of time, then that kind of sets you up for, oh, I don't have a lot of time this week, so I'm not going to be able to do it. Or, oh, I'm running a little short on time, so I'm not going to be able to do it, right? And it's fine to have those things that are a little more, time consuming, right? That rejuvenate you. But you also need to have some things that aren't that time consuming that you could do on a regular basis. That you could actually do on a regular basis. Now, let me just detour for a quick second. I'm using this StreamYard and I don't know who's on with me. Okay, so I just want you to know I haven't got there yet. For those of you that don't know, I'm not a real techie person, and I haven't been using StreamYard that long, so I don't know if it's something I'm doing wrong or if you've commented and I can't see it, but I don't see it until after the fact. So I just want you to know that it's not that I'm purposely don't want to acknowledge you. I do want to acknowledge you for anyone that joins in, even if you just pop in and pop right back out. Thank you so much. It's so much appreciated. You taking the time out, from your busy schedule to even stop in for, even if it's just for a couple minutes. Okay. So determine the feasibility of it. Is it, real? Is it going to take a long period of time? So that's why I said, and that's fine if it does, but also have some other things lined up that you can do just like that, right? At the drop of a hat, you can, get your coloring book out. Or, you have your, I don't know, your Audible Bible that you want to read, whatever it is. But make sure that it's something that it's realistic. It's realistic that you can do it on a daily basis or a weekly basis. Let me just say a weekly basis. I know sometimes you may not be able to do it every day, but at least a weekly basis. Because think of it like this: the more feasible it is, the more likely you are to do it. That's why I'm stressing that. Because when things aren't, just like food, right? When we're on diets, it's easier to keep up with a diet if you got all your stuff planned out for the week. Like if you sit down on Sunday, you get all your fruits chopped up and you got your recipes and I'm eat this, I'm eat that. I got, you got everything there. Isn't it much easier to stay on track because it's there? You don't have to think about it and you don't have to do a lot of prep because you've already done that. It's kind of the same concept, right? You know that this is something that you need to do regularly, right? It's a must. It's not an option. It's a must. It's a necessity. So figure out what those things are and be able to do it, regularly. That it doesn't, so you don't have that excuse of, oh, I don't have enough time, or oh, it's too time consuming, or oh, it costs too much money, right? I would love to have a spa day every week, but do I have the money or do I have the time is the question, right? So that is a good way for me to practice self-care, but that's not necessarily a feasible way for me to practice self-care on a daily or a weekly basis, right? So that's what I'm getting at here. It has to be feasible, and it's different for everybody. And if you don't know, try some different things and figure it out. Okay. So the next piece is, and I kind of touched on it a little bit, is to make sure that it fits into your schedule, right? To incorporate it into your regular routine. Incorporate it into your regular routine. Again, a lot of times when we just like working out, and that's just the first thing that comes to my mind when I use these analogies with the working out, because I'm pretty sure that we can all probably relate to that at one time or another, is that you say at the beginning of the week, I'm gonna work out 3 days this week, right? You don't know which 3 days, but you're gonna work out 3 days. Which scenario is more likely that to get done? If you on Sunday say, I'm gonna work out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday of this week, versus Sunday, oh yeah, I'm gonna work out 3 days this week, but I have no idea what day I'm gonna do it, right? So, okay, so Monday come around, oh, I still got time to do it. Tuesday come around, maybe I go do it. Oh, but no, I'm tired. I don't feel like doing it now. The next thing you know, it's Wednesday, and you haven't even worked out once. So, along with making sure that it's feasible, I mean, feasible like in terms of time and money, incorporate it into your schedule, just like you incorporate time to, I don't know, do your hair in the morning, or to put on your makeup, or to plan your outfits for the week, right? You take time to do that because it's something that you have to do. Look at self-care in that way. And it may vary from week to week, but make sure that you have time allotted to do it. Whether it's you get up in the morning and you meditate, or maybe get up in the morning and, I don't know, read over some quotes by your, favorite inspirational person. Like I remember at one time I used to read Wayne Dyer all the time, you know, and I'm not a morning person, so mine would be at night, but whatever it is, even if it's like if you got a long commute to work, maybe an audible book or an inspirational tape, that inspires you as well as makes you feel calm, ready for your day, or scriptures or whatever it is, right? But make sure you have allotted time to do it. Because again, it's more, especially with the fact that we lead such busy lives, and especially if you work a full-time job and you're an entrepreneur, or even if you're an entrepreneur, I don't say just an entrepreneur, but even if you're only managing one job, you still have, responsibilities in terms of, being a wife, being a mother, maybe with, in your community, within your family, whatever the case is. Oftentimes we're juggling many things. We're wearing many different hats, right? So it's easy to kind of just keep going and going and going and getting caught up and pushing the self-care back, 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 back. I'll do it later. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it this weekend, right? But when you incorporate it into your daily routine, right? And it may be a little challenging at first, but you have to create a new habit. That's what you're doing. You have to create a new habit of regularly practicing self-care. Like I know I interviewed somebody here recently, and I can't remember who it was, but they get up in the morning and they have a whole morning ritual, where they get up and they sit and meditate. And what else did she say? She meditates and maybe read something. I can't remember, but it was a routine. It was part of her brushing her teeth and putting on makeup. It was part of her daily routine. And I've interviewed a couple of ladies that have said that. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. Even like I said, I'm not a morning person. I'm the type of person, I stay in the bed to the very last minute, then I get up running. Okay. But mine comes in the evening, like as I'm decompressing from my day. There are different things that I do that I know I'm going to do nightly in order to rejuvenate myself or to just kind of, let my mind go at ease, right? So whatever that is for you, put that in your daily routine or your weekly routine. Like if you find maybe a Zumba class that you like, put that in your weekly routine and you build everything else around it. Wednesday night is Zumba night. Wednesday night, I go to Zumba, chat with a couple of the ladies in the class, have myself a nice little smoothie on the drive home. That's something that you're doing for yourself. And it's once a week. And you're killing two birds with one stone. You're working out and you're practicing good self-care. Okay. So those are the three. Let me just make sure. I think those are the three. Yep. Make sure it fits into your schedule. And then the last one was develop the mindset that is not optional. Okay, which I think I pretty much said that all the way through. It is not optional, because a lot of us think that, oh, we'll get to it when we get to it, right? No, because what's going to happen is you can't keep pouring from an empty cup. If you don't keep filling that cup up with water, you're not going to be able to pour no more water out of it. Eventually, it's just going to dry up, meaning that you're going to just end up shutting down, right, or having some major, health issues going on, So mentally, physically, and spiritually, you have to continue to feed yourself and rejuvenate yourself and replenish. Okay. And especially as an entrepreneur, just an entrepreneur in general, because it's a lot of work and it could be ongoing work, right? So that's my message to you all tonight. Again, my name is Jacqueline Kabay Harrison. I am a confidence and success coach, and I work specifically with African American women that are coaches and or consultants. I help them to create effective strategies in which to combat or effectively address negative self-talk, as well as those self-sabotaging behaviors that cause us to just become stuck, right? Or cause us to become stagnant, which means that we are not moving forward in our businesses, thus not creating the lifestyle that we truly desire as well as deserve. All right, so thank you again for everything, and I will talk to you all again soon. All right, good night, everyone.